Taiwan just made a historic move after Trump's high-stakes meeting with Xi Jinping, openly welcoming direct talks with Washington while warning it will not be sacrificed or traded as China escalates pressure around the Taiwan Strait. The world now watches a dangerous diplomatic showdown that could reshape Indo-Pacific security, global technology supply chains, and US-China relations forever. In the aftermath of a high-profile diplomatic summit in Beijing, Taiwan has signaled both concern and an unprecedented willingness to engage directly with the United States. The discussions come as U.S. President Donald Trump met with China's President Xi Jinping to address a range of critical issues from trade and technology to the ever-sensitive question of Taiwan's security and status in the region. The summit's outcomes have sent ripples across the Indo-Pacific, prompting careful scrutiny from Taipei, Washington, and regional partners alike. During the summit, which lasted 2 days, President Trump and President Xi discussed a broad array of geopolitical and economic topics. Taiwan, a long-standing flashpoint in U.S.-China relations, featured prominently in private and public exchanges. President Xi reportedly cautioned that mismanagement of Taiwan-related matters could escalate tensions and even risk military conflict. The stern warning underscored Beijing's enduring stance that Taiwan is a non-negotiable part of its territory, and any attempts at independent maneuvering or international recognition of Taiwan's leadership are seen as direct challenges to China's sovereignty. President Trump, speaking as he departed Beijing, acknowledged the complexities of the situation. While the United States has a long-standing commitment to Taiwan under the Taiwan Relations Act, the president indicated that he had not yet finalized a decision on the proposed $14 billion arms sale to Taipei. He suggested that he might engage in direct communication with Taiwan's president before taking further steps. This comment has sparked significant attention in both Taipei and Washington, highlighting the delicate balance between upholding long-term commitments and navigating broader U.S.-China relations. In response, Taiwan's leadership moved quickly to reaffirm core principles while signaling a readiness to pursue direct dialogue. President Lai Ching-te underscored the island's commitment to its democratic system, its dignity, and its freedom. In a public statement, he declared, "Taiwan will not be sacrificed or traded and will not give up its free way of life under pressure." This strong assertion reflected a clear message to both the United States and China. Taiwan's democratic values are non-negotiable, and any attempt to diminish its sovereignty will not be tolerated. President Lai also emphasized the importance of continued U.S. support for Taiwan's security. He thanked President Trump for his ongoing commitment to peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, stating, "We thank President Trump for his continued support for peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait since his first term, including the continuous increase in the scale and amount of arms sales to Taiwan." The comments served both as an acknowledgement of USSA assistance and as a subtle reminder that Taiwan's defense capabilities are closely tied to its ability to maintain autonomy in the face of growing regional pressures. Perhaps the most significant development from Taipei came in its openness to unprecedented direct dialogue. Officials indicated that Taiwan would welcome a direct call between President Trump and President Lai, a move that would break with decades of diplomatic precedent. Historically, the United States has avoided direct contact with Taiwan's sitting leadership since recognizing Beijing in 1979. Yet, in a statement reflecting Taiwan's cautious optimism, a senior diplomat remarked, "If he says yes, then should we make the relevant arrangements?" We very much hope to have such an opportunity. This unprecedented willingness to explore direct communication reflects Taiwan's desire to clarify U.S. intentions and reduce the potential for misunderstandings. It also signals Taipei's proactive approach to safeguarding its security and asserting its sovereignty on the global stage. While such a move carries potential risks, notably the possibility of further aggray, evading Beijing, it also represents a calculated effort to engage with a major global power directly. Washington has sought to reassure both Taiwan and its regional allies that U.S. policy remains consistent. Officials emphasize that America's commitment to Taiwan's security has not changed and continues to be guided by the frameworks established under the Taiwan Relations Act. These commitments include providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself and maintaining stability across the Taiwan Strait. While President Trump's comments on arms sales have introduced a degree of ambiguity, U.S. Authorities stress that long-standing policy principles remain intact. China, meanwhile, has maintained its assertive stance. President Xi and other Chinese officials have reiterated that Taiwan is a core interest and have continued to conduct military exercises in the region. Beijing has framed any attempts at international engagement with Taiwan's leadership as international favors in its internal favor, warning that such actions could provoke strong responses. For Taipei, this ongoing pressure reinforces the importance of maintaining a vigilant defense posture while exploring diplomatic channels that might reduce risk and preserve autonomy. The regional implications of these developments are substantial. Taiwan occupies a strategically critical position in the global semiconductor supply chain, making the island a focal point not only for defense, but also for global technology and commerce. Any disruption, whether from conflict or coercive diplomatic pressures, could have far-reaching effects on industries worldwide. Taiwan's leaders have repeatedly stressed that maintaining a stable, secure environment is essential to the smooth functioning of global supply chains. They have also asserted that no single nation should dominate critical technology sectors, emphasizing the importance of cooperative international engagement. For U.S. allies in Asia, including Japan, South Korea, and Australia, clarity regarding American commitments to Taiwan is paramount. Ambiguities in statements or policies could influence strategic calculations, prompting regional powers to reassess their own security measures and diplomatic strategies. Washington's approach to Taiwan, therefore, carries broader implications for alliances, deterrence, and the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. The potential for a direct call between President Trump and President Lai is not only a matter of symbolism, it could have tangible policy consequences. Direct communication at the highest level would allow both sides to clarify intentions, coordinate on security matters, and potentially reduce the likelihood of miscalculation in the region. Yet, such a step also risks signaling to Beijing that the United States is shifting its traditional approach, which could provoke heightened rhetoric or military maneuvers from China. Amid this uncertainty, Taiwan continues to project a message of resilience and steadfastness. Officials reiterate that while the island seeks to maintain peaceful relations, it will not compromise its sovereignty or democratic system. The statements from President Lai and other leaders reflect both the determination of Taiwan's government and its recognition of the complex geopolitical environment in which it operates. The dynamic between Taiwan, the United States, and China is emblematic of the broader challenges facing the region. Economic interdependence, military modernization, and the pursuit of strategic influence converge in a delicate balance. The potential for dialogue between President Trump and President Lai adds a new dimension to this balance, illustrating how diplomacy can evolve in response to changing circumstances and leadership decisions. Looking forward, several factors will shape the trajectory of this relationship. The U.S. decision on arms sales, the willingness of both leaders to engage directly, and China's response will all play critical roles in determining stability across the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan's ability to navigate these developments while maintaining its democratic governance and security will be tested as never before. Despite these pressures, Taipei remains focused on proactive engagement. Officials underscore the importance of transparent communication and strategic clarity, seeking to ensure that Taiwan's interests are neither overlooked nor compromised. By expressing openness to direct dialogue with the United States, Taiwan demonstrates a nuanced understanding of diplomatic leverage, balancing firmness on sovereignty with flexibility in engagement. The unfolding situation also carries lessons for the international community. Global powers, businesses, and regional actors must carefully monitor developments to understand potential shifts in trade, security, and diplomatic alignments. Taiwan, semiconductor industry, democratic institutions, and geopolitical significance make it a critical node in the broader network of international stability. At the heart of these developments is the question of leadership and decision-making. President Lai's statements convey a deep commitment to Taiwan's values and autonomy, while President Trump's remarks illustrate the complexities inherent in US-China-Taiwan dynamics. President Xi's warnings underscore the stakes and the urgency with which Beijing regards the Taiwan question. Each leader's decisions and communications will ripple across the region, influencing alliances, military postures, and economic strategies. In conclusion, the post-summit period highlights a rare convergence of caution, opportunity, and risk. Taiwan's declaration that it would welcome direct dialogue with President Trump represents a historic and strategic step, combined with steadfast assertions of sovereignty and a commitment to democratic principles. This position reflects both a desire to reduce uncertainty and a determination to maintain Taiwan's autonomy in a challenge. In geopolitical landscape, the international community continues to watch closely. The United States, China, and Taiwan face a complex interplay of diplomacy, deterrence, and strategic calculation. How this delicate balance unfolds will shape not only the future of Taiwan, but also the broader architecture of peace, security, and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. In these circumstances, measured dialogue, clear commitments, and careful navigation of competing pressures will be essential to avoid escalation and to preserve stability. Taiwan's willingness to engage, coupled with the United States' enduring commitments and China's assertive stance, creates a high-stakes environment where every statement and decision matters. The potential for direct dialogue, while unprecedented, may offer a path toward clarity and stability, provided that all parties approach the situation with strategic care and a commitment to peace. At this critical juncture, Taiwan's leadership emphasizes both resolve and diplomacy, making clear that the island will defend its freedom while remaining open to constructive communication. Taiwan will not be sacrificed or traded and will not give up its free way of life under pressure. President Lai's declaration resonates as a guiding principle amid the uncertainty. The coming weeks and months are likely to reveal how these diplomatic overtures, strategic calculations, and international pressures will shape the region. For now, Taiwan stands firm, asserting its sovereignty, welcoming dialogue, and navigating the complexities of a rapidly evolving geopolitical environment with a measured yet resolute approach.